let's assume, all right, now let's assume that the dragons we have, the dragon slayers that we were introduced with Neville and Wraith, are the new ones we're getting for this part with Alderaan, and we're not getting any more for right now. Just assume that. I can't take any more weirdly themed dragon slayers showing up right now and completely just boggling my mind of what they're going to be like, because we have two brand new ones who we have a really interesting one because the attribute is cool. Ghost Dragon. Automatically very cool just to think about. And then we have, okay, a Sticky Dragon. Weird, but intriguing weird. And I would like to know if there's any relation between Scullion and Wraith. Like, what if they were the same person, and then that was a dragon slayer who died and became a, like, you have the corpse and the ghost? Maybe they're brothers? I don't know. We didn't get a last name for Wraith. If his name is Wraith Raider, that is going to be such. I can't even imagine. Like, just, and I can't imagine. It's just such a sick name that I really want it to be a thing now. But going into this next chapter, we are going to be seeing Natsu set up a fight that will be a very weird one, because when Natsu and Gajo got in their fight, we had a pretty good idea of pretty much how it was going to go, even before it happened. Even in the theory of Natsu versus Gajo in a later fight. They were going to have a good classic brawl, and the two characters were going to still have a good display, but I think we all knew that Natsu was going to be on top. Gajil is obviously powerful, but he still can't compete with Natsu until he at least shows something like, an equivalent to Fire Dragon King mode. Some form of Iron Dragon King or Tyrant Emperor Tsar, whatever it is, mode, or Dragon Force. Obviously, Dragon Force would be the next big jump. But that fight, very straightforward. We knew it would be. Now, with this fight, Ghost Dragon. Very strange. Again, Ghost Dragon, who knows how this is going to go. His roar is going to be so weird. Like, you can kind of get, like, an idea of the other dragons. I mean, you can get, we already, like, Kyria, okay, she had some more bladed shout. Mad Moles is going to be weird. Definitely. I think we got, the Sticky Dragon pretty down of what his roars are going to be like. Bigger, giant, heap of sticky threads. And then we have, new fella as Wraith as a ghost dragon. Is this going to be like horrific spirits that possess things? Is it going to be like plasma, like a ghost? I don't know, but I am very much intrigued to see how that's going to go. His moves are going to be, I'm hoping they're more spooky. Like, they're not, like, I fully expect him to be durable like a Dragon Slayer, but I don't expect his attacks to be straight, like, big destruction level. I see them more as being like attacks, kind of like Cobras. Like Cobras, obviously, his attacks, they damage like materials and stuff. Like, he could easily destroy like buildings, but his power isn't in large scale destruction. It's overtime potency of poison, and the fact it's going to slow you down. It's going to slowly kill you in the fight, which is very useful for a Dragon Slayer, given they're extremely durable. It's easy for them to replenish their stamina and magic power. But with a ghost, I mean, like, the fact that he's going to be able to, like, assumingly be intangible, slip through walls, like the ground, probably attacks, will automatically give him a huge edge in a fight with a physical brawler. And in that aspect, I'm looking forward to the roar. The thing about his attacks that I'm really hoping is, if I mentioned in the review, for the last chapter, if you go back and listen to that, you know what I mean? Or, don't go back and listen to it if you already have. But when I mentioned how with Jose, like, he had those cool ghost, like, spirits during his attacks, like, just like the panel uses Dead Wave, I'm hoping we get that style again used for race attacks, because that was something that it was, like, a little fun design wise, like, for like the energy coming off of him at times, and for some of his own spells, and we never really saw too much of it again. And it would be cool to see that style used again, but in here, maybe you just tweak them a little, make them more dragon-like, or just have it straightforward, and it's just an advanced version. We already had characters who have just, we had Ajo, who was for the most part a million times better Max, who was like, hey, I have sand magic, and it's like, I have sand magic too, but I don't suck with it. But we could get some crazy powerful like attacks from Wraith, but I'm fully expecting them more to be strange and hard to deal with. And I'm wondering what his thing will be like for their effects. Like I said, Cobra's isn't the same as like Natsu's. Natsu's just fire. It's explosive. It's heat. It's energy versus Cobra's, which is poison, which is going to slow you down over time and slowly just your body succumb to the effects of obviously poison, venom, toxins, and whatnot. And then obviously we got matchups. We got Kiria and Urza next round. We had pretty much the first time they fought, Kiria ended up winning because of the fact, she used some hacks on Urza. Urza figured out a way against it with her artificial eye. And then their second match was inconclusive. And now it looks like going to be, round 3. And the Dragon Eaters look to be sticking around for the whole 100 Years quest. So I'm wondering with that, if Urza beats Kiria, I don't expect Urza to just trash her, because obviously the Dragon Eaters aren't weak. We already saw, she took Urza's last attack, and Madmal took Natsu's last attack during those fights, and it did damage, and it looked like one of those scenes where they were defeated, but they actually, they were damaged, but they got up, and they were still able to fight. It was just like, damn, that hurt. Let's keep going, because obviously Dragon Slayer is extremely durable. The way that I could see it going, because I feel like Urza's going to win. Urza's either going to win, or some form of draw, or Jalal steps in. But I would actually really like Urza to win, but not by a lot. It being a very hard struggle for her, because she has not had a solid win in a while. She has not had a solid win since Jerome. She only beat Agil because of people helping her. She lost to Nineheart. She didn't really beat Irene. Irene kind of killed herself, and that was her own volition. She would have otherwise killed Urza right there. But and she hasn't had a solid win for all. But I want, though, from that is Kiria to lose, and then, use that to, somehow push herself to maybe we'll find out information about Dragon Eaters and why they're different, why they're not affected by motion sickness, and maybe further progress, their form as, a dragon, and then maybe she'll become, part dragon, and then we'll see more, more intense battles from there on. But it would be cool to see, that complete self-destruction of her own character for Kiria, because she's definitely the craziest one out of their group, as the arc goes on, based off of, the interactions with Urza, and Laxus versus Jolida. I've talked about it so many times, I don't need to go too much into it. Obviously very hyped, very excited for that. That's going to be really intense. It's probably the longest running, who would win between these two characters matchup within Fairy Tail is Laxus versus Jalal. And then Wendy versus Evil, I'm very curious about, because she's in a bad spot, but it's not something that Wendy, she couldn't figure a way out of. I mean, it's sticky. I mean, she's obviously got, wind. She can use wind pressure, razor wind to get out. She's got Dragon Force, and probably some more stuff that we haven't seen that, she's gained over time. But I am intrigued to see how that fight will go, because it's not Wendy's not one to just run through an opponent. She's had some pretty every single time Wendy gets her own fight, it's a really solid fight in the series. And then Lucy's, I don't really know how that's gonna go currently, after she used her trump card and lost a lot of energy because she didn't for some reason aim right for Mira Jane. She's probably really excited, really just want to get her attack out. But I mean, she could still pull on a win. We will have to see, though. Maybe we could introduce something for Lucy. Obviously she's got a new form, but maybe she's learned some way to replenish her magic faster. Because Lucy's thing is, she has a large quantity of magic. That was what she trained on, going into, the Grand Magic Games. We know that her thing wasn't straight, physical training. She was directly, trying to expand her magical quantity source, because that's, what she needs as a summoner. But other than that, tell me in the comment section below what you think about what's going to happen. This is going to be exciting, because this is the last chapter before it goes weekly. We get this chapter at the start of October, and then 2 weeks, and then the next chapter, until otherwise knowingly decided upon, will be weekly. I think it's until Heroes is over. We don't know how long that'll be. I'm guessing at least a volume, so probably from between 8 to 10 chapters. Which is still going to be really awesome, given where we're set up right now on 100 Years Quest and all the craziness going on right now. I feel like it's going to get back to bi-weekly, right when Alderaan probably gets up, and I'm going to go with Rampage, hopefully. Other than that, comment below, thumbs up the video, but from the like button, the subscribe button, and check out my other videos. But that, I appreciate everyone who's already subscribed, and I thank you all for listening. Bye.